Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to.
How I see the USA after leaving for 4 years.
For those of you who haven't seen my channel, I'm Dave, some guy who decided to leave the US in October of 2021 and move to Portugal. With no
Oh, he looks so
retirement plan,
different
no fancy
here.
digital nomad gig, and no grandmaster strategy. Just a gut feeling that I needed to.
Wow, the video work is nice.
Yeah, his videos are always very nice.
10 years before that trip, I took my first trip to Europe, and the food, the culture, and the lifestyle, it all stuck with me. Fast forward, I've now lived and traveled across Europe, collecting more gray hairs than I'd like to admit, and definitely shaved a couple years off my lifespan trying to learn Portuguese. But did I regret any of it? Not a chance. If you want to see my favorite places around Portugal and the rest of Europe, follow me on Instagram at Dave in Portugal.
Is that popular?
And today, I want to share
have,
how I
like,
see
those bags in Europe.
What
The
bag?
men, they have the bags. You see the bag that he has. It's like for like.
For traveling. I mean, yeah, to keep your stuff in, I guess.
America now after these 4 years abroad. Not to bash it, but to give you the perspective you can only get by stepping away. Think of it as a friendly debrief from the outside looking in. Leaving the US was like taking the red pill in the Matrix. Once you're outside, you realize how absurdly polarized things look. When I went back recently, it felt like being dropped into the middle of a tug-of-war match where the rope is about to snap. Everyone's pulling hard left or hard right, and if you try to stand in the middle, you're instantly accused of being the enemy. Here in Portugal, and most of Europe, politics of course exist, don't get me wrong, but people are more cordial about it. That black and white thinking is exhausting. When you've been away from it for a while, it's almost like everyone has forgotten that the rich and powerful really don't care if you're on the right or the left. They'll say whatever keeps you cheering while they cash in and get richer. And meanwhile, most Americans are buying a front row ticket to the spectacle, watching it play out like some second-rate reality TV show. And the wild part, the rest of the world is watching too. And they can't believe that most Americans don't realize they've become the punchline of their own joke. And that joke has gotten dangerous. When I'm traveling, I can almost spot a certain type of American right away. The volume is a notch higher, the body language is bigger, and there's this unspoken confidence that the room should notice them. It's not always mean-spirited, it's just loud. Like, imagine you're in a quiet cafe in Lisbon, sipping your espresso.
I think it's a good thing though, the confidence. That's one thing that I admire about, like, Americans. I think the confidence that they believe they're the shit. I think that's admirable. I think it's a good thing. It's definitely I would want my kids to be that confident. There's no reason for a person to not be confident.
And suddenly, it feels like you're sitting inside a live taping on a talk show. Growing up in the US, you're kind of trained to treat life as one big spotlight audition. You're taught to stand out, to push ahead, to grab what you want. That's part of the American spirit, the ambition, the hustle, the self-reliance. But when you carry that mindset into other cultures, it can clash with places where the vibe is more about blending in and making space for others. The Black Friday example sums it up perfectly. One person climbing over 3 shopping carts to snag that last flat screen TV. The every man for himself moment gets a laugh when you're in it. But when you've been away for a while, it starts to look less like ambition and more like chaos.
Hi everyone, Jeremy Allen White here. Tickets are officially on sale for our new film, Springsteen Delivered.
Since leaving the States, I've noticed how much calmer life can feel when you're not constantly proving yourself or defending every opinion like it's your own personal crown jewel. I've become more patient, more open to listening, and less concerned with being the loudest voice in the room. And the funny thing is that once you step back, you realize that blending in a little isn't weakness. It's actually kind of freeing. 4 years in Portugal has taught me a lot, especially about how much of ourselves we leave online when we travel. That's why I'm glad today's sponsor Incogni is something of exactly far I've had over 400. Go to Incogni's video.
Oh,
Most But the most important thing I've learned by far, after traveling as much as I have, the grass isn't always greener. Every place has its beauty and its flaws.
You know what
I meet tons of
Okay, say go back to the visual. Okay. You see, there's like a little islands,
Mm-hmm.
but the grass is so flat. Who cut that grass?
I don't know. Nobody.
No, explain. I need some
No, nobody
explanation.
cuts it. Nobody, ain't
So it
nobody cutting
doesn't get
that grass.
high. This grass
Yeah,
doesn't get
probably.
high.
Yeah, probably. Nobody cutting it. It's
Europeans
funny.
who love America, who light up when they talk about the dream of visiting one day. But here's the kicker. There's low-hanging fruit everywhere. That guy who cuts you off in traffic, he exists in Lisbon, Paris, Berlin, and yes, Dallas too. The general public can be just as selfish, short-sighted, or clueless, no matter where you go. Isn't the average person, it's the outliers, the people with depth, curiosity, and the ones who can hold two ideas in their head at once. The ones who don't just point fingers at everyone else, but who ask, wait, maybe I'm part of the problem too. Those are the people you want to meet, whether it's Madrid or Milwaukee. And at the end of the day, all of us, Americans, Europeans, whoever, we're just slightly evolved
Wait,
monkeys hanging on for
how you see the U.S. after 4 years?
Well, so he kind of, the points he gave what Americans are, but I guess he's summarizing. But at the end of the day, we ain't that different. It's bullshit everywhere.
Yeah.
Seems like that's which is, I mean, usually, I sit here and like debate these videos, but I was been quiet the whole video because I think he was right about everything. I think, the politics in Europe is different than the politics in here. It's very polarizing here. It's not as polarizing in Europe. The whole self-confidence definitely here more than Europe too. I just see it as a good thing though. I don't see it as a downside. He kind of sees it as a negative. But at the end of the day, there's good here, there's good in Europe, there's bad here, there's bad in Europe. It's you kind of
I guess it makes you complain a little less when you see on the other side what's it like on the other side, and just instead of just thinking what it could be on the other side, or thinking that, oh, this is all it could be.
for dear life to a giant rock spinning through outer space. When you think about it like that, it's kind of funny how much energy we waste blaming each other for everything instead of just trying to enjoy the ride together. So how do I see America after these 4 years? Complicated, frustrating, inspiring, absolutely ridiculous at times, but still a place with people I care deeply about. Moving abroad changed me. It gave me perspective I could never have if I stayed in my own bubble. And while Europe is far from perfect, trust me, they got a complex set of problems of their own. There's something about stepping outside your home culture that teaches you to both criticize it and appreciate it in new ways. And if you can't take the criticism, loosen your grip and welcome to the internet, my friend. If you enjoyed this little video, hit that subscribe.
yeah.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. As always, share as much kindness as possible.